she was proud to wear the uniform. A young Navy sailor, only 21 years old, bright, brave, compassionate, serving her country at Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia. But on May 29, 2025, Angelina Petra Resendiz vanished. 10 days later, she was found dead in a wooded area off base. And now, another Navy sailor is being held in pretrial confinement, suspected in her death. A betrayal from within. This is not just a story of loss, it's a story of trust shattered, of duty betrayed, and a young woman's life stolen far too soon. Today, on The Dark Stories, we ask, what happened to Angelina Resendiz? Welcome to The Dark Stories, where we bring you the haunting truths behind real-life crimes that leave communities shattered and families searching for answers. If you're new here, subscribe for more in-depth investigations, because we believe every victim deserves to be remembered, and every story deserves to be told. Today's case takes us deep into the corridors of military life, where honor, duty, and integrity are supposed to stand above all else. But behind closed doors, something went terribly wrong. Let's begin. Angelina Petra Resendiz was just 21 years old. Stationed at Naval Station Norfolk, the largest naval base in the world, she was far from her Texas home, but doing what she loved, serving her country. To her family, Angelina was the heart of their home. Her mother, Esmeralda Castle, described her as a kind and compassionate young woman who brought light into our lives. But all that light was extinguished too soon. On May 29th, Angelina was last seen alive at her barracks inside Naval Station Norfolk. And then, nothing. No contact, no social media, no explanation. Days passed, her family grew frantic, her friends were confused, and the U.S. Navy launched an investigation. But it wasn't until June 9th, over a week later, that her body was discovered in a wooded area off base in Norfolk. She had been missing for 11 days, and the place where her body was found, far from where she should have been. By June 21, a name had emerged. Jermiah Copeland, another Navy sailor, was publicly identified as the person being held in pretrial confinement. He is not yet formally charged, but the language is clear. He is being detained or confined on suspicion in this case. An initial hearing took place at the Naval Consolidated Brig in Chesapeake on June 16th, where it was ruled that Copeland would remain confined due to the seriousness of the charges. That same day, Angelina's mother addressed the court. The person responsible for this horrific loss made deliberate choices that ended Angie's life. Their actions were not a mistake, they were a betrayal of trust, of duty, and a young woman's life stolen far too soon. A betrayal, not just to a family, but to the military itself. The investigation is being led by NCIS, the Naval Criminal Investigation Service. Military legal experts explain the process ahead. Once an individual is placed in pretrial confinement, the government has 120 days to bring formal charges and arraign them. If prosecutors intend to pursue the most serious level of justice, a general court-martial, they must hold an Article 32 hearing. That's the military equivalent of a grand jury. The system is moving, and while the exact charges are pending, the tone is set. The U.S. Navy is treating this case with gravity. But for Angelina's family, no justice can come fast enough. On June 20th, Angelina Resendiz was brought home. Her body arrived at Valley International Airport in Harlingen, Texas, escorted by fellow service members. She received military honors. Her casket, draped in the American flag. A hero returned, but behind the ceremony, behind the uniforms and the salutes, was a family devastated. A mother without her daughter. A home forever changed. It's a void in our hearts, Esmeralda had, and that void will never be filled. Why was Angelina killed? What happened between May 29th and June 9th? What led her to that wooded area off base? And what role, if any, did Jermiah Copeland play? The military justice system will attempt to answer those questions. But justice, especially in a system as insular as the military's is, can move slowly. The world is watching, the Resendiz family is waiting, and Angelina's memory demands truth. Angelina Petra Resendiz was more than a sailor. She was a daughter, a sister, a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. She stood for service, discipline, and integrity. But the circumstances of her death reveal a darker side of life behind the gates of a military base, and a betrayal that cuts deeper than most. We will continue to follow this case, and we promise to return when more details are revealed, when charges are filed, and when justice, hopefully, is done. This is the Dark Stories, where every life has a story. If you found the story important, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what justice looks like to you in the comments. And remember, behind every uniform, behind every story, is a real person. Don't look away.